Hoagland came over and laid a hand on his shoulder. He wore a canvas-brown mustache and let his long hair curl above his collar.
"Good luck, Grady," he said. "Maybe it's the right thing you're doing, though I doubt it." "Smith and I," Ryan said, "are going to find the lost gun site. Next time you see me, I'll be buying cigars instead of candles."
Hoagland's laugh resembled a grunt of a wild boar. He glanced at Smith.
"Huh. I'll bet you know where all the gold in Death Valley is, come to that."
Smith said,
"All that glitters is not gold."
Hoagland looked pained. He started for the bar, but turned back to Grady.
"Kane would like to talk to you before you go. He'll be in his office for an hour tonight, if you got time. Hell, I haven't even got a dress suit. I can't go up there looking like a mucker." "Kane," said Hoagland, "was a mucker before he was a millionaire."
He went over and found his special bottle waiting for him. Grady winked at the prospector.
"And he's going to be a mucker again, or I don't know a sick mind when I see it. Suppose you buy the groceries," he said. "I'll go up to the boarding house for my stuff. See you at Maggie Conway's for supper."
Smith grunted.
"'Tain't safe."
Ryan chuckled.
"Who's Maggie Conway? Just another Cousin Jack's daughter. The girl I'm looking for has her picture on the Double Eagle."
But he thought of Margaret Conway as he walked up the steep, straight road between the lava-stone buildings. If she were just another Cousin Jack's daughter, it was because he had kept her that way in his mind. She had the warmth and ingenuousness of her Cornish womenfolk, with a little bit of their quickness in her speech, and a lot of their good humor. Ryan had become so practiced at self-deception that he was not sure whether it was because of her that he hungered so for a real strike, or simply for himself. But he did know that it shamed him to be in debt to her for meals, and the few times he had asked leave to call on her, that he could not even afford a turnout to take her riding, and that gnawed at him. It was early January, the air thin and sharp as chilled wine. Night cold was invading the ugly mining town in the parched hills east of Death Valley. Above Furnace Flat's sheet metal hives, the hills were stark and colorful, birthmarked with patches of strawberry, stained with green stone, rotted with slanting ledges of rimrock like outcrops of rusting iron. It was a capricious country, ready to dump gold in your lap or burn you to cracklings beside a spring it had whimsically sucked dry, or ready simply to wear you down from vainglorious manhood into premature senescence. Kane's office was in a big two-story headquarters building against a hillside. The boom and clatter of the mill was a discreet distance away, but the dust of it was like talcum powder all over the building and its windows. Ryan arrived in the office of Borax Kane. He had seen Kane frequently, but had never spoken to him. The president of Furnace Flats Borax Company was a broad-shouldered man of 50, several inches under 6 feet. He sat at a rough pine desk with a clutter of papers and 3 brimming ashtrays. He was smoking cigarettes, which seemed to Ryan a rather effeminate gesture. He failed to acknowledge the mucker for a few moments. Then he said without looking up,
"Take a chair."
He went on signing papers, while Ryan stood there with fury mounting in him, staring down at the red, veinous face with its turgid eyes and slack, whiskey mouth. Finally, Kane sat back. He looked surprised at the scowl in the other's eyes. It had the effect of bringing him to his feet with an affectation of pleasure.
"Sorry to make you wait, mister. Pretty busy this time of year."
"So am I," Ryan told him. Kane fumbled a box of cigars, almost spilled them, and held them out to Ryan. Ryan took 3. He kept his slow, gray-eyed gaze on the man, wondering what the hell was wrong with him. He was like a speaker who had forgotten his lines. Kane kept dodging the cigarette smoke, blinking, moving his head as though he hated the stuff, but couldn't remove the cigarette from his lips. Ryan bit the end off one of the cigars.
"Why the hell don't you throw that thing away and have a cigar?"
Kane grunted.
"Nothing I'd like better. The doctor took me off cigars last year. Kidneys, damn nuisance."
His flabby, rutted face annoyed the miner somehow.
"Ryan," he said, "Hoagland tells me you're quitting us. Why?"
"If I could eat the candles I have to buy," Grady said, "I might see the sense and stay."